What's up guys, Nevs here and welcome to another Siege video. Today the mid-season reinforcements have come out and I thought I'd do a general video with you just to go through some of the changes because they're nothing major but they're definitely still worth knowing as some of them are quite exciting. So let's go through it. I'm going to look at this with you as I've just gotten home. We are glad to announce the major changes for our new mid-season reinforcements, specifically an upgrade of Glaz's scope, a new elite set for Twitch, several operator and weapon balancing and many more bug fixes. These mid-season reinforcements will deploy on Wednesday of March the 15th, 2017. Awesome, like that straight away. Okay, first of all, Glaz. Now I know they've already talked about they did now Glaz. I know they did talk about it the other day. They did a little bit of a tease. For any of you guys who haven't seen it, Glaz is getting a thermal scope, as you can see in this video. He can essentially see, well, people are highlighted, but only when he's looking straight at them. So he can't see them through walls or anything like that. It has to be looking straight. However, that means he can look through any type of smoke grenade, such as capitals, I think even smokes. I had a quick scan of it beforehand. I will read it to you guys though. There's a bit of information here which you guys are welcome to pause and read, just about the sort of backstory of why Glaz is getting an upgrade. Very interesting. So here we go, game design notes. The biggest change to Glaz's flip sight is the addition of a thermal visual feedback when ADSing through the scope. This will make defenders really pop when they come into view. It should be noted that this will not work through walls. The visual feedback will only appear when the opponent comes into view. Yep, there you go. However, the scope will outline your opponents even through smoke grenades, Capital's micro smoke grenades, and Smoke's gas canisters. This should make things more interesting for Glaz in close quarters. Well, there you go. I mean, there's the ridiculous problem with smoke, with any kind of smoke grenades in this game, how it's peer-based, not rather than just sort of client-side. So although, of course, to some person it looks like you're hidden in smoke, it's completely not the same on their side of view, on their view. However, I think this could be really nice. A lot of people, including me, will use smoke grenades as sort of a deterrent yet an escape to get across a room if you can. Glaz doesn't give a shit. He will kill you anyway, which is great. So people can use the smokes on the attacking team to enter and at the same time get cover from Glaz. So I think this would be really interesting. As it said, jumping ahead a bit. As it said, I think Glaz will be definitely interesting in close quarters. Throw some smoke grenades in, slowly sneak in, and just pop people before they even see you. I think that could be really cool. The health program, I had a quick read of this. It's just generally, I will go over it. The technical test servers. The technical test server is one of the first systems we're deploying to raise the quality of health in Rainbow Six Siege. Deploying in the weeks following mid-season reinforcements patch, this test environment should focus on the specific technical systems we want to introduce into the game. The first of these is the one-step matchmaking, which was mentioned in the Rainbow Six Invitational and is a new approach to our matchmaking, making it more stable. More information on the technical test servers and one-step matchmaking will be provided in the upcoming weeks. So not super important, you guys probably didn't need to know that. I probably could have summed it up, to be honest, without having to read the whole thing, but there you go. Next is Twitch's elite skin. I did think this was for Valkyrie at first glance when I first saw it, but as you can see, well, I mean, it says Twitch as well, but as you can see, she's doing the classic sort of pose, and she's got the sort of the French flag. I don't know the backstory generally of this. It doesn't really go into detail. It just sort of generally tells you it's the Marquis skin or set. Whether this is some sort of World War II sort of attire, I don't know. But one thing it does mention is that there's going to be a new design for her offensive drones, which is awesome. I'm hoping they're going to look really sort of age appropriate for the historical settings. That could be really cool and really like the style. I was going to think of a good word, but we'll go with that. General tweaks and improvements. I've gone over this as well. This is some of the more interesting changes in my opinion. So Doc's Overheal now goes to 140. They basically mentioned that they revisited the mechanic and decided that an extra 20 health wasn't really a massive difference in a firefight, as well as because of the rate it decreases, it would go too fast and 20 health wasn't much of a difference. So they haven't changed how fast the health will go down once you've hit Overheal. They've simply increased the max to 140, which I think is awesome, as Doc is one of my favourite characters, and it's nice to see him get a bit more of an important role with overhealing, because I never really felt like it was important. If anything, it was more of a joke. I'd say we're about to rush, I'd overheal my teammates and say, go, 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 and that'd be about it. So it's nice to see that get added. Buck gets an extra magazine for a skeleton key. I'm definitely feeling that. I'm sure you guys feel the same way, that you run out of ammo so quickly that it's nice to know you will have more to fall back on, and rather than, I'm not even sure what it is. I think you only get something like 8 shots, maybe not even that. It's not much really, maybe even less, to be honest. Weapon balancing, red dot, red reflex, and hollow sight reticules are getting smaller. Awesome. Yep, yeah, I've definitely felt that as well. And as it says, the community felt that they were all too big and too close to the screen, so they've corrected this, which goes in line with, as I mentioned in Velvet Shell, they brought them all into the same sort of on each gun. The size of red dots and reflexes, etc., were different between each gun, so they brought that all in a line, which is great. DMR trigger rates have now been adapted to prevent rapid firing. Basically, people could shoot so fast that they were becoming auto rifles, and if anything, they were shooting faster than auto rifles. So I completely get this. I think it makes a lot of sense. Echo's MP5 doing more damage at medium range. 100% agree with this. If I was playing Echo, I would use it. It's a very nice headshot weapon, but apart from that, in a firefight, the Supernova was definitely the way to go. The MP5 just really wasn't up to much. It just did nothing damage-wise. So they mentioned that at medium range, the weapon's damage was subpar because of the integrated silencer, absolutely. Before the patch, the gun dealt 25 damage from 0 to 10 meters, and then fell to its lowest damage at 14. It now has 29 damage from 0 to 15, and falls off at 14 at 20. Sounds great, that's quite a nice little jump. It's nothing too crazy, but then actually no, to be honest, that's quite a certain amount. That's quite a percentage realistically when it comes to one bullet. Thermite's auto rifle. I'm not going to bother saying all the numbers and letters. So the recoil has been tweaked to make it easier to control. I'm not really much of a Thermite player, especially on the recent meta. I feel like Hibana's more of a go-to character, but I definitely think that's a great change. I know some people will be very happy about that. Caviera's Louison, I'm gonna guess that's how you say it. Probably butchered it. The damage drop-off has been tweaked. Caviera's pistol has been buffed at medium range encounters. Awesome. So pre-patch, the damage went from 70 damage at 7 meters down to 20 at 18. Now it goes from 70 to 7 and 35 at 18. Which, yeah, that's quite a lot still, so that's going to be nice. And falls off at 20 at 24. We felt like Caviera's signature weapon damage drop-off was too sharp and made it hard for players to understand what range it's lethal and which it isn't. Which is now good or better at all ranges and all that. Yeah, that makes sense. I think that's definitely a welcome change, especially for Cav mains. Jackal's rifle is now getting balanced. Good. Yep, it was too recoil, too accurate, had no downsides. I completely agree. Jackal, without doubt, has probably got the best rifle in the game at the moment. It's basically Hibana's, but better. Great damage, great recoil, great magazine, and I completely agree with this. So I'm happy to see that happen. I love playing Jackal, but at the same time, the gun is far too good. Capital's power has now been getting a recoil buff. I agree with that as well. I loved Capital. I was sad to see those grenades go, but I think it's definitely the right step in the right direction. And as it says here, the Pro League players expressed how hard to control this weapon is, and they felt it was right. So that's great to see. And now another improvement: 0 ranked MMR exploit. Last week we implemented several fixes to resolve the occurrence of an exploit that would result in winning teams receiving 0. I need to breathe. The winning team receiving 0 ranked MMR points. Yep, that made sense. I actually didn't run into that, but I know a few people have, so sounds great. And it reinstituted an abandon penalty for exiting a ranked game during the final kill cam. Sounds great. They're going to monitor it closely. Can't complain. Main bug fixes. Some of this is pretty unnecessary, like there's an exploit that results in ranked games awarding 0 to 5 MMR after a win. General things that don't happen to a lot of people, so I went through it and made a quick list. The most important ones to me were shield operators fixed. Shields were not protecting operators from explosive damage. Awesome. I had a few instances where I was really confused about getting hit by a C4 at quite a large amount of health and dying when I was fully extended as Monty, etc, etc. So I think it's nice to see something like that happen, because realistically, why play an operator like that with a shield? Now, this is another one. It's essentially a Blitz buff, not the one I think everyone's hoping to see, but Blitz has spent Blitz. You know what? Why do I even do this? Blitz has spent additional time at the range, thus reducing the draw time on his weapon after triggering his shield flash. There's no longer a 2-second delay before he can fire his weapon. Perfect. I realised in one of Matimio's videos, I think he talked about that, and it makes a lot of sense, really. I think it's nice to see. I'm sure there'll be more of a Blitz buff coming in the future, hopefully soon, but but it's definitely a step in the right direction. I have no idea what they'd do with Blitz, but at least this is better, and if he can protect himself better with these explosive damage changes, all the more. I can't complain about that. Everything else is pretty general, just a few things like that. People can no longer use their camera after being hit by a Yaokai Sonic Burst. Makes a lot of sense. All the other things are just small changes, nothing really worth seeing. I will display it like this so you guys can, of course, pause and read if you want to. That is a car outside. God damn it, I'm recording. But that's generally it, guys. I hope you've enjoyed the video. I think this is a really great patch, reinforcements if you will. Some great changes. It's good to see things like this happening to Glaz. I don't think he really needed a buff compared to some other operators, perhaps, like Blitz. However, it's great to see and great that they're not sort of leaving some of these operators by the side. They're still thinking about it and thinking how we can perfect them. So that's great to see. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.